Hello everyone, welcome back to Tier Lists. Today we're going to be doing a tier list of all of Drake's albums slash mixtapes slash EPs slash projects that I have personally heard. I will say there are a few here that I haven't heard, but all the main ones that you would have expected me to hear, I have heard. I don't think it's too much of a problem. I'm mostly doing Drake right now because he's a very hot topic. He just released his diss track against, well, he didn't release it, it got leaked, and he's purposefully not releasing it so it gets like more buzz or whatever. He dissed Kendrick, Rick Ross, Future, Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, and possibly more people. I mean, there's some jabs in there that might be a Travis Scott. I mean, we don't really know. It's a very hot topic right now. If you want to know my thoughts, I think it's really fucking good. I think as a song like that is better, but I do think Drake's diss is better. I think Kendrick can come back with something better, of course. He's Kendrick, but I think for what we have right now, Drake's diss is the best. And I think his diss against Kendrick is better than Kendrick's diss against him. And even that, and then Drake just destroys everyone else. He destroys Rick Ross, Future, Weeknd, Metro, but whatever. We'll stop talking about that. So we have an S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, F tier, and Never Heard. In the grand scheme of music, I don't think Drake really has any albums that are in like the S tier or the A tier. I would say my favorite Drake projects, the highest they would go is like B tier. But like just for the sake of the tier list, just so we can have like an even out thing, I am going to put what I think are his top projects are. I'm going to put them in S tier. And then I do think he has at least one F tier anyway, so it's fine. But all right, so let's just start. First up, we have Scary Hours 1. I never heard Scary Hours 1. I believe it's only 2 songs. I think it's God's Plan and Diplomatic Immunity. Obviously, I've heard God's Plan, but I haven't heard Diplomatic Immunity, and that's half of the EP, so I can't really judge it. So we're going to go Never Heard with this one. Now we have Scorpion, which I have heard. I sadly have heard this album. Yeah, Scorpion is so boring. It's an hour and a half. The first side, there's 2 discs. First side is hip hop, second side's R&B. It is really boring. Like, I can't really, like, you have to listen to this album to know how boring it is. Obviously, you have highlights. I mean, Nice for What is, like, I don't really know why that's on the R&B side. I know it has the Lauryn Hill sample, which is R&B, but, like, it's a rap song. And it's honestly, it's more of a rap song than, like, some of the songs on the rap side. But, like, that's one of his best songs ever. And then, obviously, God's Plan's great. Definitely one of his, like, best big hits. That's really it, to be honest, for, like, the really good songs. Like, there's, like, you have, like, Sandra's Rose and, like, Emotionless. Those are really good songs. But, like, God's Plan and Nice for What, easily the best on that album. But then just, like, pretty much the whole side 2 is just, like, really boring. Some of the songs are okay. I wouldn't say they're bad, but I wouldn't say they're good either. And then there's just some songs that just fucking suck on side 2. Like, they're really bad. And then the thing is, with the rap side, it's not even that good either. Like, if we count that as just, like, one of Drake's rap albums, like, up until that point, I would say that's his worst rap project alone. Not even counting the R&B side. Like I said, you know, you have God's Plan, Emotionless, Sandra's Rose. But besides that, I mean, Survival's... It's good. It's decent. But then you have songs like I'm Upset. I'm Upset is one of Drake's worst songs ever, bro. Just like the beat is just boring. Drake is just boring. He has some awful bars on that song. So yeah, overall, like Scorpion, this is definitely like the downfall of Drake. I guess you could say maybe More Life, because like More Life is kind of after I think his prime. But even More Life, it's not like that much of a drop in quality. This, like, I'm gonna give this the F tier. If there was an E tier, I'd probably give it the E tier. I don't think it's a bad album. I just think it's a really mid album. But I feel like there are better albums than Scorpion that I'm gonna give the D tier. So I'm gonna put Scorpion in the F tier for now. Then we have So Far Gone, which was Drake's like main commercial like debut, the main project that most people consider Drake's like first project. I never listened to this, like while I was going through like Drake's discography about a year ago. But by this point, I never listened to this one. And then like a few months ago, I was like going to listen to it, and then I listened to the first 3 songs. I just was not fucking with it at all. So it's really long as well. So I listened to the rest. So I'm not gonna rank it off those 3 songs. I'm just gonna put it in Never Heard for now. If it's really good, then I guess tell me, and I guess I'll listen to the rest. But from what I've heard, it's not very good either. So I don't really remember what this is called. I never heard it. I'm pretty sure it's just like an EP. Never listened to it. And I've also never listened to Care Package. Again, I think it's just like a compilation of shit from OVO, or like kind of just like demos and stuff. So I never listened to it. But from here on out, I've listened to all of these projects, thankfully, so there's nothing else will be going in the Never Heard. Now we have Dark Lane demo tapes. This was Drake's like mixtape that he dropped in 2020 that nobody cared about. Like this is probably like his least like talked about project, to be honest. Like out of his like main albums and mixtapes, this is probably the least talked about one, or at least like bottom 3 least talked about. Because, like, there's nothing really going on with this one. It's not bad. It's not good. It's mostly forgettable. There's some bad songs on there. To me, a Tuesday Slide is very hated. I actually really like Tuesday Slide. That's probably my biggest Drake hot take, but I really like that song. I used to love that song. Like, I used to play that song a lot. I don't think it's amazing anymore, but I do really like it still. And then, obviously, you have songs like Chicago Freestyle on there, which is definitely one of Drake's better modern songs in, like, the last 5 years. But, yeah, besides that, it's just mostly forgettable. I mean, there's nothing much on here that's like interesting at all, so I'm just gonna give it the D tier. And then we have Certified Lover Boy. This is probably, honestly, I would say this is Drake's most infamous album, since this was a pretty hyped up album. I think Drake was hyping this album up because, I mean, this was his first album in 3 years after Scorpion, and Scorpion was very like universally like it was like universally panned pretty much, so people were kind of excited for Drake to maybe, you know, make something good. And, you know, Dark Lane demo tapes, it was better than Scorpion, but it wasn't anything really like good either, like anything notable. So Certified Lover Boy, people were excited for. I mean, there were leaks that I think came out that people liked, and then the album came out and it had this shitty ass fucking album cover. It was competing with Donda, which, I mean, to be honest, Donda's not even one of Kanye's better albums, but it's still like leagues better than Certified Lover Boy. I remember when this album came out, I wasn't a Drake fan at all, and I listened to like half of it and I fucking hated it, and I just did not listen to the rest. And then when I became like a Drake fan, I started listening to his music. I've listened to it. I don't think it's a bad album. I think it's overhated. A lot of people consider this a really bad album, like Scorpion, and like Scorpion, I don't think it's a bad album, but I do think it's worse than Scorpion, and, you know, which means I'm gonna give it the F tier as well. It's just like so bloated, and for what, man? There's maybe 5 good songs on the whole album. You have Champagne Poetry. I will tell you that Champagne Poetry is easily like top 10 Drake songs of like the last 5 years, maybe even top 5. I don't know if I'd say top 5, but it's definitely top 10. That was an incredible rapping performance from Drake. Love the beat. There's a beat switch. It's a great intro. Definitely, I mean, Drake 90% of the time hits with the intros, and this one's no exception. And then I think Poppy Tone, the second song, I think that song's very good as well. I don't think it's to the level of Champagne Poetry, but it's a banger. And then after that, it just goes all the way down. Girls Want Girls, awful song. Such a fucking bad song. Oh my god. In the Bible's awful too. And then after that, it's just straight mid. It's just like either mid songs or bad songs. Way Too Sexy, of course. That song was so annoying. I remember when that shit came out. I do think there are a couple of other good songs of the album. I think Fair Trade with Travis Scott, I used to love that song. Now I still think it's really good, but not like to the level that I used to love it. I don't think Travis's performance on the song is anything crazy, but I do think it's a really good song. And then You Only Live Twice with Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. Interesting how Drake has Rick Ross features. That song's really good. That's like that old Drake, you know what I mean? That song, that's a banger. But yeah, just like this album is just so inconsistent. I mean, you have songs like Knife Talk, which is just like the most. The thing is, I love Savage Mode 2. Like, and that song is supposed to be on Savage Mode 2, like Metro Boomin, 21 Savage. I love that whole like gangster, like murderous vibe from them. That's my favorite 21 album and my favorite Metro album. But I don't know, man. Something about that song, I never liked that song. Never. It's probably Drake, because Drake's verse fucking sucks on that song. I've talked about, what, maybe 5, 6, 7 songs. There's like 22, 21 songs on the album. The rest are just either like pretty bad or just like flat out boring as shit. Like, it is, I don't know. And the thing is, this is one of Drake's more rap oriented albums. Like, this is way more rap oriented than Scorpion, more rap oriented than Views, probably more rap oriented than Take Care, to be honest. I don't know if I'd say it's more rap oriented than Nothing Was the Same, but like besides that, it's probably one of Drake's more rap oriented albums, and it's like his worst album you can consider rap. I mean, there's one other album that I would say is worse than Certified Lover Boy from Drake, but I think you guys know what that is, and it's pretty clear that album is not rap. But yeah, I mean, this is just a really mid album. Again, I don't think it's a bad album, but it's the closest thing you can really get in Drake's discography to bad that's not, you know, actually bad. Thankfully now, we're moving out of the lower tiers, and we're getting into the higher tiers. If you're reading this is too late, it's easily Drake's best project. We're giving this one the S tier. I mean, oh my god. I know it's like the popular opinion for this to be the best Drake project, but I don't care. I really don't care. This This album, this mixtape is so good, bro. Know Yourself is on this. Know Yourself is like my favorite Drake song. I could say that with confidence. That's my favorite Drake song. Oh my god, that song's so fucking good. And then there's literally Preach is the only miss for me. I don't think it's a bad song either. And then, bro, it's like the normal length of a Drake album. Like, Drake is known for having pretty long albums, and this album's no exception. It's like almost 20 songs, I believe, but it is like I said, there's one skip. There's not a single other Drake album that has like that many songs that only has one skip. Besides like Take Care, I'm pretty sure Take Care is like shorter than if you're reading this. But then yeah, I mean, you just have some of Drake's best ever songs. I mean, Legend, Energy, 10 Bands, like I already said, Know Yourself, 6 p.m. in New York, No Tellin', Jungle. Jungle's so good, bro. That's most people's favorite Drake song, I think. Six God, I think. Six God's the one with the Donkey Kong sample. Yeah, that shit is... Like, it's just Drake being hungry, you know what I mean? That's the kind of Drake I like. He's just like rapping every single song, and even though like the more singy songs on this album are incredible too, like Jungle, obviously. You and the Six, that's the song where he's like talking to his mom. That song's awesome. Yeah, there's just so many good songs on this album. Easily like at least like 4 of Drake's top 10 best ever songs have got to be on this mixtape. So yeah, that's easily top of S for me. I doubt he'll ever make something as good as this. I think he can, but I don't think he will. That's what I mean by that. Then we have Scary Hours 2. Now, Scary Hours 2 is an EP he released in 2021, kind of like in preparation for Certified Lover Boy. It has What's Next, Wants and Needs featuring Lil Baby, and then Lemon Pepper Freestyle featuring Rick Ross again. I re-listened to this yesterday, and I mean, it still holds up, man. Oh my god. Again, I wasn't a Drake fan when this came out. You know, it's not like I was like really hyped for Certified Lover Boy or anything. I didn't listen to this when it came out. I listened to What's Next when it came out, and I love that song, and I always love that song. And that's my favorite on this EP. But then you also, I mean, like every song, I mean, there's 3 songs of this EP, but they're all bangers. I mean, to me, Wants and Needs is actually the worst song on here, which most people say is the best. It's just like, it's not even that it's like a bad song or a mid song. I enjoy that song. I'm just like not the biggest Lil Baby fan, and I also just really enjoy the other 2 songs more. Lemon Pepper Freestyle, man, it's just 6 minutes. It's like that old Drake, you know what I mean? Like Wants and Needs and What's Next are bangers, but they're not that old Drake. Lemon Pepper Freestyle is that old Drake, bro, and it's so good. I mean, this is easily one of his best projects. I think on Kendrick's Like That verse, he said, your best work is a light pack. I think that could possibly be talking about Scary Hours 2, because if you told me that Scary Hours 2 is your favorite, like, Drake project, I wouldn't look at you weird, because I wouldn't say it's 3 of his best songs, but, like, 3 really fucking good songs. He could also just be talking about how, like, it's like Take Care or something, but it's just like not as good as Kendrick's best work, which, you know, he's not wrong. But yeah, no, Scary Hours 2 is really fucking good. That's gonna go in the A tier for me. Next up, we have What a Time to Be Alive with Drake and Future. We just can't, I mean, bro, all these people that he used to collab with are now just, and I mean, Metro Boomin produced like the majority of this mixtape as well, and now he's just beef with both of them. I used to hate this mixtape. I don't know why. When I first listened to it, I really did not like it. I probably would have put it in the F tier. Then I re-listened to it, and then I probably would have put it in like the D tier. But now it's grown on me. It's grown on me. I re-listened to it a few weeks ago, and it's still like not my favorite. Like a lot of people say this is like one of Drake's best projects, and I definitely do not agree with that. And I'm a Future fan too, but I don't think this is one of Future's best either. I've only listened to a few Future projects, but I don't think this is his best. But no, it's very solid. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I think there are skips, like Diamonds Dancing, that is Drake's most overrated song. I'm sorry, like what is it about that song that people love? Like, that song is not good, bro. The only part about that song I like is, like, the horn. That's, like, when it's diamonds, 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 all me dancing. That, like, horn that plays in the back. I don't know. I like that part. And if that's the part you guys like, then I don't know why you're saying, you know, a 5-minute long song where that plays a little bit is, like, the best Drake song. I don't know. That song's so overrated. And a lot of the songs on this mixtape are overrated. But no, there's definitely some bangers on here. I mean, Jumpman, of course. There's some bangers on here, but I don't think it's like his best work. I think it is probably the lowest B tier that we're gonna see today. But speaking of B tiers, we have Views. Now, Views, probably Drake's most overhated album. It's not like hated like Scorpion or Certified Lover Boy, but like most people do not like this album. And like I guess I can understand, but it's also like how are you gonna deny that some of these songs don't slap? This is like definitely his poppiest album, like it was at the time, and it still probably is. I mean, you have One Dance on there, Controlla, Too Good. You have Hotline Bling, so many pop songs, but most of them are really good. Like One Dance, I mean, it's a banger. Don't lie. Control is a banger. Don't lie. I love Hotline Bling. Don't like, if you don't like Hotline Bling, you're just lying to yourself. Okay, you genuinely are. And then, I mean, there's some incredible songs on here too. Western Road Flows, of course. Such a fucking good song. The title track, Views, the outro, that's one of my favorite Drake songs ever. That's probably top 10 Drake for me. Always on repeat. Feel No Ways is like a fan favorite on this album. I think that's a really good song, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's probably top 3 though. And there are a few skips, but like not many. Like it's 20 songs long. I said there's maybe like 4 skips at most. I think it's a very solid album. I wouldn't say it's the most consistent Drake album, but I think it's a solid album. I'm gonna put it B tier right there. And now we have Honestly Nevermind, which is easily Drake's most hated album. This was the first Drake album that I listened to like in full when it came out. I still wouldn't really, actually I think I was a Drake fan at this point. Wait, let me check, because I'll see when I added like Take Care, Nothing Was the Same to my playlists. I'd say I became a Drake fan here when I listened to Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. This is when I added like most of the songs from these albums on my playlists. So I was not a Drake fan, I wouldn't say, when Honestly Nevermind came out, but he was growing on me. Okay, there were certain songs I really fucking liked from Drake, and I listened to this with my friend Angel when it came out, and we hated it. It was, bro, like it came out like the day before our English final, and instead of studying, we stayed up and we listened to this. Huge mistake, bro. Huge mistake. It was so bad. It was a surprise release too. I remember he posted on Instagram like 8 hours before the album came out that it was gonna come out. Yeah, awful album. It's like a dance house album, and it's so many bad songs. Okay. So, Jimmy Cooks, of course, the final song, the only real, like, rap song on the album with 21 Savage. It's, like, the precursor to Her Loss. Incredible song. Love that song. Easily one of Drake's best songs of the last 5 years. Massive, that song, I actually do like that song, even though it is, like, a more dancey house song. I do enjoy that song. Sticky is okay. I don't think it's a good song. I think Kendrick and Baby Keem did that whole flow and beat way fucking better on the Hillbillies, like so much better. Sticky's not a bad song, you know what I mean? Besides that, every song on this album sucks so much. Like, it is just so bad. The singing is awful, the production's boring. I mean, there's nothing more to say. It's just a really fucking bad album. That's easily F tier. Then we have Her Loss, the album that Drake released with 21 Savage, also in 2022. Like I said, this was really the first Drake album that I listened to after I became a Drake fan. And I enjoyed it when it came out. Wait, did I enjoy it when? No. Actually, I don't think I liked it when it came out, but when I re-listened to it, probably like around a year later, I did enjoy it. And I re-listened to it a few times since then, and I do still enjoy it. Again, I don't think it's his most consistent album. I don't think it's 21's best album. I think American Dream's better. I think Savage Mode 2's better. I think Without Warning's definitely better. It's a very solid album. It's crazy because like he released his worst album this year, and then like a few months later he released a very solid album. Middle of the Ocean, of course, is just like, oh my god, easily one of Drake's most underrated songs. Again, just a classic Drizzy song, you know what I mean? It's straight rapping over it. Great production. Rich Flex obviously became a meme, but it is an incredible song. I love that song so much. It's such a banger. What's the other song I really like? Pussy in Millions, really solid collab with Travis Scott. More M's, that's just like a sinister Metro beat, and again, yeah, Metro beef with Drake now. That was the last song I believe that they did together. But then you also have like Hours in Silence is a pretty bad song. Jumbotron, Shit Poppins. Then you also have bangers like Major Distribution, absolute banger. Privileged Rappers is a banger. There's another one that I'm forgetting the name of. I'll put it on screen now. That one's a banger too. It's like the one with the beat switch and then Drake goes crazy on the second part. But yeah, it's just a really solid album with Drake at 21. You think 21 would carry, but to be honest, no. I think they do like equal amount here. Obviously Drake is on the album more than 21, but I think like they both do really solid jobs here. I do think more of the weaknesses come with Drake, but I also do think some of the highest points also come with Drake. So I think they do equal work here. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. Next we have More Life, which is his playlist, but it's really just like a mixtape in between Views and Scorpion. Some people would probably see this as where Drake was falling off, although I'd say most people praise this album or this mixtape more than Views. I personally think Views is way better than More Life, but I think More Life, I wouldn't say it's a good mixtape, but it's like his closest thing to good that's not good, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. It's really long and there's definitely skips. Passion Fruit. You know what I mean? It's easily one of Drake's best songs ever. Passion Fruit is so good. Do Not Disturb's incredible too. And there's some other great songs on here, but I don't think it's Drake's most memorable mixtape, to be honest. I re-listened to one song yesterday. It was like Get That Shit Together. I don't remember what the song's called, but it was a vibe. And this album, it has like a dancehall R&B kind of vibe. And it's a nice vibe. It's an okay mixtape. That's what I feel. I think it's okay. We're gonna put it in the C tier, and have our first C tier. Every tier is occupied by something. Now we have For All the Dogs, Drake's latest like full release, obviously the For All the Dogs Deluxe, which is right here. That came out like a week later. But this is his latest main big release. I was pretty hyped for this album because like this was, I know I said Her Loss was like the first album that came out after I became a Drake fan, but like I was like a real like Drake fan when For All the Dogs came out. Like I was excited for this album. Like Drake was saying it was gonna be like the old Drake, like, you know, and Her Loss, that was giving me hope because that was his latest album at the time, and that was a very solid album that I enjoyed. I was excited for All the Dogs, and then it released, and I listened to it, and like I listened to it in school, and it's different when you're in school, you know, like you're kind of just listening to it in the background. You can't pay attention to everything. I thought it was solid enough when I listened to it in school, and then I went home and then I listened to it, like I paid more attention, and I was like, yeah, this isn't great. This is not great. It's just, again, it's just bloated. It's just so bloated. There's quality on here. I'm telling you, there's quality. 8 AM and Charlotte, one of Drake's best songs ever. I don't care what you say. One of his best ever songs. Bro, of like the last like 5-6 months, that's easily been one of my most played songs. I just love that song. I have almost the whole song memorized. First Person Shooter, of course, incredible song. Started the whole beef with, well, it didn't start the beef with Kendrick and Drake, but it kind of reignited it. You have some other solid songs like Virginia Beach, Hey Men with T the Touchdowns, very solid. Honestly, I think like the first like 7-8 songs on this album are really like, they're solid. There's like there's a few like Rage songs on here, which to be honest I think Drake does better than like most Rage artists. I think Daylight and Fear of Heights were the two ones. Yeah, those were solid songs. I'm not a big fan of I Don't Give a Fuck, but it's okay. It's not like I'm happy that was one of the bigger hits and not like some other songs. But Rich Baby Daddy was one of the biggest hits on this album, and I hate that song. Oh my god. I don't know how that song became a hit. That song is so annoying. I mean, maybe it's just Sexy Red. I hate Sexy Red so much. Like, I'm sorry, she's just so annoying, bro. I remember like the first time I heard, even like when I liked the album when I first listened at school, I hated that song. Like, it was just insufferable. And the thing is, I think the song it's solid without her, but with her it's just awful. And then you have what's the song with Bad Bunny, Drake trying to do Spanish. Is just like, I think Bad Bunny's part is solid, but nah, Drake on that song, definitely not. BBL Love Interlude, awful song as well. And then the rest of the album is just boring as shit. Like, there's nothing else to say. It's just so boring. Again, it's bloated. Like, if Drake just didn't make his albums bloated, there would like be genuine, like, there a chance for a good album. But because he doesn't do that, there's no good album. So yeah, we're going D tier with this one. It's definitely not a bad album. It's an okay album, better than Scorpion Certified Lover Boy, but it's not by much. You know what I mean? It's not by much better than Scorpion, but I think it's much better than Certified Lover Boy. But the For All the Dogs Deluxe, Scary Hours 3, if you want to call it that. It's technically not Scary Hours 3. It's so good. It's going to A tier for me. I don't think it's better than Scary Hours 2, but like, it honestly might be. I'd have to listen to it. I listened to it the other day, but I didn't like fully pay attention to it. It was more in like the background. 6 songs, they all hit. They're all great. Red Button's just straight rapping from Drake. Really like that song. Stories About My Brother, that's probably the best song on the Deluxe. You have another conductor beat. It's just all jazzy. We need a jazz rap Drake album. That would be insane, bro. Imagine Drake and Conductor on an album. What's the song after that? What's it called? The Shoe Fits. That's great song. It's like it's really long song, but I love the vibe of it, the story, everything's really good. Wickman, I've just recently been re-listening to that song. That song is so good. Like, I liked it when the Deluxe came out, but it was probably my least favorite. Bro, that song is crazy. Like, the beat from Alchemist, it's insane. And then obviously Evil Ways with J. Cole. I remember when it came out, I thought it was better than First Person Shooter, and now it's not. I mean, J. Cole's verse on First Person Shooter is just too good. But nah, it's really good. You Broke My Heart's like the pop song of the Deluxe, but it's still better than like most of Drake's modern pop songs. It's just straight quality. Like, why did he make the Deluxe to a D tier album in A tier? I don't. Just be consistent, Drake, please. And now we have Drake's classic 3 albums. Thank Me Later, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. We're going in reverse order, I guess. Nothing Was the Same is the only other project that I am going to give the S tier. Yes. I think if you're reading this and Nothing Was the Same are better than Take Care. Well, I think most people think if you're reading this is better than Take Care, but not Nothing Was the Same. Nothing Was the Same, though, just such a great album. Oh my god. Again, I do think there's a skip on here. I don't think Drake has a skip list like album. I do think the Scary Hours EPs are skip list, but they're EPs. I mean, if they're not skip list, it's kind of sad. I think 305 to My City is not a great song, but everything else is just so good. I mean, Tuscan Leather is easily top 5 Drake ever. Probably his best rapping performance ever. Furthest Thing, incredible song. Worst Behavior, so good, such a banger. Hold On We're Going Home is easily one of Drake's best ever pop songs. Pound Cake, I mean, how can you ignore Pound Cake? That's, again, one of Drake's most praised songs ever, and for a good reason. I mean, Jay-Z feature. From Time, so good. So good. And then Too Much for Sampha. That's like the introduction to Sampha pretty much to the rap world. It's just a classic from Drake. I've always really liked this album ever since I heard it. This was one of the main albums to get me into Drake, and I'm glad it did because I really like this album, and it's S tier for the sake of this tier list. Now we have Take Care. Take Care, this was the main album that did get me into Drake, and I still think it's a really good album. It's a great album. I think it's Drake's first great project, but I'm gonna have to put it at the bottom of A tier. I do genuinely think both Scary Hours or whatever are better than Take Care. Again, I'm just like not the biggest fan of the sound of Take Care. Like I like more like the vicious Drake, like the hungry, not like the Loverboy kind of thing. But I mean, for what this album is, it is great. I mean, Marvin's Room, Headlines, that's top 15 Drake, top 10 Drake maybe. Of course, it's a classic. Over My Dead Body, one of Drake's best intros. Lord Knows, again with Rick Ross. I know I keep bringing up Rick Ross, but that song, I re-listened to that probably yesterday, I think. And then every other song is just like really solid on this album. I think Practice is like the one skip on this album, but besides that, like 18, 17 songs long, it's no skips. And yeah, I mean, I think this was like when Drake started to get really good. And yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I feel like this is his most well-known album, I'd say. And then we have Thank Me Later, his first main album, and I'm gonna give it the top of B tier. I don't think it's as good as Take Care, but I do think it's very underrated. If Views isn't Drake's most underrated album, it's this one, man. I know this sounds a bit dated, but don't deny the classics on this album, bro. Do not deny the classics on this album. You have Over, still one of Drake's best ever songs. Fancy, so good. Fancy's so underrated. You have other great songs like Find Your Love, you know what I mean? Miss Me with Lil Wayne's great. It's a really solid album. There's just like a lot of really good songs on there. A lot of classics. I feel like a lot of people don't give it the credit just because it does sound dated. And you know, parts of Take Care sound dated too, but nobody really talks about that. But yeah, man, that's kind of just what I think about Think Me Later. So yeah, that's the tier list. If like we were doing this in like a normal tier list, right? I'd probably put the ones that are in S and A, I'd put them in B. The ones that are in B, I'd put in C. More Life, I'd put in D, and then everything else would be the same. That's the tier list. Subscribe and like the video, and yeah, thanks for watching.
These niggas talking out of their necks. Don't put no coughing out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT.